Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, now let me get a word in sometime. Don't talk so damn.
What's going on with my fellow folks? You already know this is the Beta Male Police indeed, Mr. AKA Live Free, or call me BMP. Hey man, salute to MGTOW. And for the people that's not hitting the like button that seem clueless, I walk out with these capes that I give out everywhere I go like theme music. Hit the like button, please do it. Now man, before I introduce my brother on the scene, this topic is going to be about what it takes to keep yourself MGTOW. And I got a dope brother with me. This brother has been donating. This brother has been supporting me since the beginning of time. He's been MGTOW forever, out the womb. I want to go ahead and introduce, if y'all didn't know, my brother, SHAKA-NEU-LU. Go ahead and mute yourself, brother. You can go ahead and give these people a brief introduction about yourself, if you would like.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? I'm glad BP or BNP wanted to do this stream. I mean, like you said, I was MGTOW out the womb. You know, I've always said that in a joking way because the way I am right now is the way I've always been. You know, when it comes to life in general, you know, with everything I've been through. And I think that, you know, my channel, just like the first one I had, my channel is for men. You know, it's not to give, you know, shitty advice. It's not to give so much advice as far as, you know, don't do this or do that because, you know, I've never been through it, but I can give you an insight, you know, some insight into things that I've been through because, you know, as human beings, man, we're going to pretty much go through the same thing. So, you know, there's some insight there. And then, you know, whatever you can gain from whatever I say, man, use it. If you don't, then don't. It doesn't bother me at all. But this is just me. I represent me.
Salute, man. Appreciate you, by the way, brother. Appreciate you. Before we get started, man, I want to give a huge shout out to BPD Black Pill Daniels for the $4.99. He said, hit the like button, man. I do appreciate you, man. Salute to Black Pill Daniels. And also, all right, I know it's 12 p.m. I know people still getting up. It's all good. I will shout out the rest of you brothers. But salute to Black Pill Daniels, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. All right. And also, man, I want to give a huge shout out to, we got here, man, Troop602. What up? What's good with you? Iota in the building. What's up? A Thinkers Man Journey. What's good with y'all? Black Savant. Salute. All right. Salute to everybody in the building, man. I know it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? A lot of life happened, and but we are back, man. I definitely want to do this collaboration because this brother has been he's seen it all, he done it all, and he's seen a lot of people come and go. He watched a lot of content from different generations. So and he is included with a lot of our talking points that we need to listen to this brother because he brings a lot of factors into what we need to do and how we can maintain our freedom. And I do appreciate it. So before we begin, man, so SHAKA-NEU-LU, man, I want to ask you this, brother. Um, Somebody that started off MGTOW from the beginning. So for instance, if somebody broke up with their girlfriend or went through a divorce or got on child support, basically going through their blue pill rage, and now they want to become MGTOW, what would you tell these brothers to begin with on how to become MGTOW?
Is that the word that they're using? Number one. Oh, I guess I could ask you that.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the word that they're using, so that means they're very specific, right? I'd actually just tell him to go to some bullshit channels and see how MGTOW talk, and then I would give him some information from the very beginning when the shit was starting off, not this bullshit new shit. But I would tell him to, depending on his age, especially, tell him to research it a little bit to see what it's really about, because it can have a real true effect on you, man. And I don't want to say devastating effect, but for somebody coming out of that type of relationship, it will be devastating, because at that point in time, he's not going to have enough knowledge about himself, and who he is and what he represents in his own life, because he's been doing that for somebody else, for however long, the person was involved for. So that makes a big difference. But, a lot of people, they can claim it. It's very easy to claim some shit, but it's hard. It's hard to actually, once you look at the so-called two tenets that was around and then how you mitigate life with those two tenets, it's hard to do. It's hard to stay that way.
Dope, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. And look, man, I tell guys over here as well, and I know we always say MGTOW, no kids, no marriage, no cohabitation. But when men see, just like me, when I think that I seen it all, far as that, I don't want to partake in anything that's going to jeopardize those three formalities of becoming MGTOW. I've been around a lot of women. I've bent them over already. I felt in love already. I've been married already. It's like I got the full experience. But in my opinion, I believe that, well, not my opinion. I see a lot of brothers still thinking that they are the exception. So for instance, if somebody come to you and they say, man, I'm about to get married, I'm about to have kids, and you looking at all of these men that been through it, you see a lot of men that been tarnished, that been ridiculed, that been cheated on, that been hurt. And, all of these quote unquote movements, MRA, men on strike, MGTOW, this guy comes to you and say, well, I'm not one of these guys because my woman is different. My lady will never do anything that all of these bitter men are proclaiming that happened to them, because my woman, she's very faithful. She's very honest. She could cook and clean. She's from whatever parts of the world. So let me ask you this, bro. What do you think when a man gets to tell you that, Shaka, this not gonna happen to me? Do you just say in your head like, yep, he gonna be next, or you gonna tell them that? I mean, like, what do you tell people like that?
I mean, it's funny as fuck because the past few years I've had that. And I had to really, like, some people you can, you could judge where their mentality is if you've known them for quite some time, right? Are they acquaintances or friends? And that was the difference in the way that I would talk to them. And now I just be like, all right, man, look, okay. Like, I don't never wish bad luck. I just say, okay. You know what I'm saying? And if it works out, it works out. Look, my homeboy been married for fucking 22 years now, right? And after when he told me that he was getting married, I was like, yo, don't do it. Straight up. And then look, I mean, this is real shit. And he was at my house, man. We was drinking some 40s. You know what I'm saying? And the dude was like, yo, man, you know, I'm finna do this. I was like, all right, don't do it, man. But then I said, yo, when it starts getting fucked up, don't come talking to me about this shit. And 3 years later, nigga, it started happening. He came over. He was like, yeah, man, I think we about to get a divorce. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I ain't got no kids. Y'all ain't invested in nothing. So just go ahead and get rid of her. But, you know, the Hawaiian in him, whatever, he wanted to have a family, nigga. So, you know, he kept it going. I mean, and he's not a simp. He's not like this simpy guy, but there is a driving force, you know, when guys want to become a family man and don't want to lose what they started. So as a man, I do understand that. But now I'm just like, yo, man, don't even fucking do it. It ain't even worth it. And if they continue asking me questions, then I'll dive into it. But, you know, I'm not gonna be like, man, yo, bitch is this, yo, bitch is that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do all that shit. But yeah, that's just where I'll go with it. I just tell them no, don't even fucking do it. Don't invite me. I just tell them all that shit. And hopefully you're smart enough to actually, you know, get a little deeper into it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, that's interesting, right? So you just tell men don't do it. Me, you know, because I know I got friends that's married that I've been knowing since almost 2008, and I still tell them, I say, man, go ahead, get a divorce. Every time that one of my married homies see one of my photos of me going overseas having fun, and he was like, man, I wish I can go. I say, dump that bitch. Get a divorce. Why are you still married? Because it appears that you'll be more happier on the same scale that I am, because I don't have to ask for permission to go nowhere. And basically every time I travel or even doing anything by myself, a married man would tell me, you lucky, I wish I was you. And I tell him this, you can be me. It's never too late. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to live a type of life that you don't want to live. You have the obligation to walk away. Right. So but I agree, man. I just tell men don't do that shit. But now, because men, they're not listening to nobody. Because when a man falls in love, English turn into gibberish. Right? English turn into braille. They don't want to listen to anything we got to say until it happens to them. So right now, I'm just telling men, go ahead, man. Go ahead, try it out. Go try it out. Go put your hand on the stove. Go ahead and get divorced. Go get cheated on. And most importantly, you just scared to live your life because now you have doubts on your decision making, right? So I got another question for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps SHAKA-NEU-LU grounded, right? Of maintaining no marriage, no kids, no cohabitation at your age, if you don't mind asking that. So what keeps you grounded and for you to have that same standpoint that you have now?
I started when I was young, man. Like, I was telling people, I know they don't believe me, but when I, you know, in retrospect or whatever, I said that I was black pill or red pill at 6 years old, and I have the exact count for that. Like, why I thought that, you know, that was my moment, right? And then around 12, 13, once I started living with my moms and shit, I really saw shit. So I already knew at a certain point that I never wanted kids and I never wanted to be married. I started seeing more and more. So that started happening, when I moved to Vegas and I started, having a bunch of friends. A lot of them would have some girls, like a little crew type shit, some girls. I saw a lot of stuff, and I saw a lot of my younger friends getting married. And then, I go to the Navy and I really saw some shit. It wasn't that I saw like bitches, cheating and doing all that type of shit, because that's what people do, you know what I'm saying? And it was the divorce shit that I saw. But I already knew I didn't want to get married, right? But it was just like, yo, if I did, that's the reminder to keep me grounded. Really is what I saw in divorce. I don't care if you were rich or poor. If she is getting a penny, a couch, a light bulb, that's taking shit away. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when, you take those vows, everybody's cool, right? Like the love is the love is there, the love is in the air, and I'm like, yeah, it's a couple days, right? But when you get the divorce, nigga, you can't even move forward amicably because you see the real them come out, and that right there just lets me know how people are and how this thing called, this so-called thing love is. So that's what just keeps me grounded. It's easy for me not to do it because I already know I didn't want it in the first place. And I think that part of becoming MGTOW is knowing what you don't want. It's easy to say what you want, but it's knowing what you don't want that's going to keep you grounded.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, dope. That's a good answer. And by the way, we're gonna get into that military shit too. We're gonna get into that because I know we both in the military, right? We're gonna get into that, man. Far as parents though, I think that a lot of people want what their parents either try to make work or that they seen, or basically they was indoctrinated on thinking that every man need to love or trust a woman and chivalry and all this bullshit. And men have not had a chance to become what they want to be. Far as they just want to be bachelors because they've been indoctrinated at an early age and they've seen a lot of not just their parents but a lot of people they've been surrounded by that got married, and these married couples don't really tell you what's going on in closed doors, but periodically you only see highlights. So I think that's what stems from a lot of these decision making, that people are not being very honest, right? Speaking of honesty, SHAKA-NEU-LU, man, do you trust women, right? So, and like the question is, how do you visualize women? If there's one woman that will tell you she can give you the world, how would you view this woman? Do you view this woman as any other woman, or is there one woman that can tell SHAKA-NEU-LU that you can trust her?
No. Yeah, I mean, look, nigga, I don't even trust my moms like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it to you like this. Babies do what babies do, right? When they grow up, they do what teenagers do. When they grow up from teenagers, they do what adults do. Now, in your entire lifetime, do you even know or understand what I just said? Do you?
Oh, I'm sorry. You talking to me? My bad.
Yeah. Do you understand what I just said when I said that?
Say it again.
Okay. All through life, babies do what babies do, right? When they get older, they're going to become a teenager. Teenagers do what teenagers do. When they get older, they're going to do adult shit. And of course, adults do what adults do, right? If dogs bite and bark, somebody might say, hey man, my dog don't bite, but at the end of the day, nigga, it's a dog. If you do enough shit to it, it's gonna bite, right? So can't be mad at that. A snake might bite whether it's venomous or not, right? I just think that people are gonna do what people are gonna do. And I think that, if a chick was to tell me, now I've had a few chicks ask me to marry them, and I think I told you about the one. And as far as like in my eyes, when I was talking about perfection, it was like what every guy really wanted. I saw how she was treating her daughters, like raising them to be a wife and doing all this. But at the end of the day, nigga, hey, like I said, I didn't want it, so I didn't go for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust them. If you could trust a rock being thrown off of 100-foot building to hitting your head and you not cracking, your neck or dying, then you can trust her. But I don't trust it. So no, I am what they would call a misogynist. I don't trust them, but I don't hate them. You know what I'm saying? Because they are what they are.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And it's crazy how a lot of men don't have that mentality. Just like you said, you know what a dog is and you know what it's capable of. And I always reiterate that on this live stream. I always say women are capable. When we say, all women are like that, all women are the same, they're capable. And the one thing men love to say over here is, well, you haven't fucked every woman in the world. Well, just like you said about the dog, I'm not around a lot of dogs in the world, but that dog is capable of biting the shit out of me. So why is women different than anything else? And this mentality is majority of men. That's why they say the terminology happy wife, happy life, because they don't want to anger the woman because she's capable of cheating. She's capable of leaving you, or she will make you work extensively more hours and making her happy. And it all really don't matter at the end of the day because women's gonna be women. It just kills me how men are still walking around and knowing that a dog bites, knowing that a snake got venom or bites, knowing that a goddamn shark will tear you up. But for some reason, there's different women that won't do that. And that always plays my mind over here, right? So I get a lot of new people that come over here and say, oh, these guys is bitter. MGTOW did some type of movement where they can't get women. And most importantly, man, guys came over here and said things like, BMP told men to not talk to women, right? So I get comments all of the time, and I just shake my head and I just say, well, everything else is, they represents of capability. Then how come you can exclude women, which is really crazy to me, man? Crazy work, man.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you like this though, man. Like in this space, we use this word called MGTOW, right? So the questions that are being asked and the shit that's being said is on a basic level, right? Because they equate everything with the red pill and all this bullshit, with just female nature and women and all this bullshit, right? Like at a certain point in time, dog, I had moved, MGTOW from that and just apply it to life. Because if that's what you're MGTOW for, and you don't see the value in it that it has in life in general, there's something seriously wrong, right? But once you start to get older, if you can't see that shit, bro, if you can't see that people are going to be people and at their worst, level of existence, nigga, you're going to see what comes out of them. And I've seen that. So that's how I move around. Like, that's why I have a channel. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say bitches ain't shit. I'm part of a He-Man Woman Haters Club. Because at the end of the day, if this is a man's space, a male space, why do I need chicks in the chat? I don't care if chicks are in the chat. But why do I need them on a panel if I'm having a panel full of men giving their perspective on shit that I'm talking about with men? I don't need it. That's some other niggas. Like, don't talk to women. Like, nigga, if I go to a cashier, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, can y'all get a dude over here? I don't talk to women. I need a dude to bring my groceries up. You're not going to do that. So all that don't talk to women and no, I don't do it. I can't do that shit because it's just not realistic. And I'm all about realism.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm telling you, bro, it's the shit I be seeing on YouTube. I be like, yo, what type of content y'all? Because and this is why that when people make MGTOW content, I will be the first person to expose that shit because everybody can just hashtag it, but I can listen to the content. I don't have any issues with nobody on YouTube. It's just YouTube, but your content I can have issues with because it's gonna be my opinion to basically break all of that down, man. But yeah, man. Um, so let me ask you this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. So you mentioned that you was in the military, right? So let's get to this shit. Let's get to it. Um, so okay, so when you serve in the military, so first of all, man, go ahead and tell the brothers how long you've been in there and what was the most fucked up shit you seen far as that you seen maybe black pill or you like damn it's some fucked up shit. So like what was the most fucked up shit you seen and you was like damn if this shit happened to him it can happen to anybody. So go ahead, man. I want to hear what you got to say about that.
It's in all actuality, dog. There's a lot of stories for that shit, man. It's not just one. But I mean, I can tell you what I did. You know what I'm saying? Which is fucked up because I this nigga's wife, she kissed me when everybody was leaving. I didn't really know him like that, but when you lock eyes with a chick, nigga, and you know it's on in her eyes, you know you could get it right there, right? And like, yo, man, if your wife is gonna do that, and she know that I'm hanging with you, that's fucked up. Nigga, I seen I knew a chief, not my chief, but he was married, and everybody knew that his wife was fucking around. And yo, man, and dudes really try to look out for him. They try to tell him, "Hey, man, your wife is out there like that." He's like, "Nah, you guys are lying." He's like, "You guys are Navy guys. You're always lying about somebody's wife." And it's like, yo, you're a chief, dude. You've been in this motherfucker for a minute, son. You a chief. You gonna sit up there and tell me those guys are lying? Guys from your crew, guys that you know, guys that hang out with you, dog. You gonna tell me that? Y'all go downstairs in the basement to the man cave and play poker, and she over there in the little summer dresses and shit. Oh, I'm just gonna get some laundry. Come on, man. You can't tell me you don't. And it's like that, man. Guys are blinded by love, and then when they look at females, this is why how I can stay grounded. I don't never look at a girl with relationship lenses. Number one, I don't look at her as, oh, she's damaged for a relationship. She ain't gonna never have a dude, or I see why she can't keep a dude, whatever. To me, women are women, dog, and they gonna do what the fuck they gonna do. You can't control them. You can't put them down like a dog. The only way you can control them is if you don't let them in your life, past a certain level. Like I have girlfriends, like I said before, that I've known for 20 something odd years. You know what I'm saying? They're still women. They do what they do, whether they're married or not. You know what I mean? It makes the if you can look at some shit because people like to unsee what they've seen. You know what I mean? So my thing is, if you can do that, then you're just fooling yourself. You ain't fooling me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Yeah, man cave niggas. Man, but when you say there's a lot of shit that happened in the military, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I seen some shit, bro.
Too much.
That one story that I always love to say is that when men when the men tell other men, "Oh, you should trust her, man. She's different, man. She got on glasses. She go to church. She go to work. Man, she wifey material." I think that shit is gaslighting.
Nigga.
To be honest, I think niggas be gaslighting the fuck out of you. They be like, "Man, you ain't wiped that woman up yet. It's been 10 years. This woman been taking care of you." Yeah, that's exactly what she want. Women know how to do their role. They know exactly what to do. Once they get what they want, that's when they change on your ass. That's when they say, "Well, I got everything I wanted. Why do I need to continue to do things that I got already?" when men come to me and they say things like, yo, BMP, this woman that you've been dealing with, only fucking her. How come you ain't wife her up? How come you ain't married? How come you ain't serious with her? It ain't the fact that I've seen some shit in this world. Is that you got the audacity to gaslight me, knowing that all of these other men getting fucked over, and you think I'm gonna be the exception of the goddamn rule? Everybody getting divorced, everybody miserable. You think BMP, a 5'9", 5'10" nigga that got 2,000 subscribers, is gonna just change the world and say, hey, all y'all need to do is have faith, have hope, have dignity. No, I seen too many people, and when men get online and say it's not gonna happen to me, you just shitting on a lot of movements. You just shitting on these men. And this is why that I make a channel giving out, capes for niggas, because they deserve these capes. I can't wait until you get a divorce. I can't wait to get cheated on. I can't wait till you leave YouTube for 3 or 4 or 5 months, because you ain't different than any other men. We talking about millionaires, billionaires. We talking about celebrities, athletes, like all of these men, and you better than all these niggas because you think your bitch better. It baffles me so much, man. So with me, I like this type of reality that I'm living in, because a lot of people is not living reality. They think that they are better. They think it's not gonna happen to them until it does. And when it does, I can't wait until you feel that pain, being in that damn corner in the dark, and nobody can help you. Nobody can help you. They can help you to make a decision if you're weak-minded, but they can't help you to get out of that bad decision making when nobody can help your ass. That's how I feel right now, man. That's why I'm with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're gaslighting themselves as well. They're like what we used to call gassing each other's head up, right? Because a lot of people won't even break. Like, look, man, there's a lot of shit that goes on when it becomes like, the bachelor life, a MGTOW life, however you want to put it, whatever label you want to use, right? But if you can't break certain things down, it doesn't really help you out. All you're doing is just listening to other motherfuckers talk and then saying some shit that they said, right? Because what that is like, oh, the chick that wears glasses, she a freak. You know what I'm saying? Like dog, the whole playbook is there, right? We have a list of things like, chicks who work at certain jobs, that chicks in these jobs, man, ain't shit, right? You know that, the church chick, we'll fuck a pastor in a minute. My pastor says this. It's like, bitch, I'm your husband. I don't give a fuck about the pastor, right? So it's kind of like, and if you really look at it, right, I'll break it down. But the most submissive woman is actually not submitting to you, nigga. She's actually dominating you, and you don't even see it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Those ways, ways or whatever you call it, beguiling ways that she has and all this type of shit to make you feel like a so-called king makes you want to do more for her, nigga. That's actually domination. That's not being submissive. I'm not saying, have some wild ratchet hoe or nothing like that, or just some mouthy chick. I'm just saying, if you really break it down, that's actually dominating. That's not submissive.
Man, absolutely, man. Boy, that's funny. That is funny, bruh. But hey, if you don't mind, man, explain to these brothers, because I know some people know you in here, right? They probably been knowing you way before my channel, man. Salute to you, salute to them. Can you give these brothers like a brief introduction about like how old you are, how long you've been MGTOW, and basically just like break down how like how old you are, when you've been MGTOW, how long you've been MGTOW, when did you start becoming MGTOW, all that good stuff, man. But go ahead, man, since to the people that don't recognize you.
I'm 50 years old. I just turned 50 May 4th this year. I can honestly say, yeah, kind of like quasi or whatever you want to call it, MGTOW out the womb. But really, started just being on some lone shit, you know, more or less. When it comes to life, like I only have a few friends, man, but those friends been my friends since like, you know, for 30 years. You know what I mean? Um, but as far as becoming MGTOW and taking on that name or that label or whatnot, is I want to say around '08, '09. Um, I was reading this thing, um, and some other things between I think 2012 or something called like Men on Strike. And I was like, okay, Men on Strike, I could see that, you know. But I was also men's rights activist for a long time, you know, out here in Vegas. So I used to go down to the courthouses, and you know, I know a lot of brothers, man, who's getting divorced, and I wanted to see what this shit was like. So I was actually boots on the ground, you know, going to the DMV. You know how people, you know, hey, can you sign this and support this and all that type of shit. Like I was that guy. You know what I mean? So when I started seeing Men on Strike and then seeing like MRA stuff online and then blog talks, I started seeing these things. It was like, yeah, we're moving away, and they were calling it men going their own way. It wasn't called MGTOW at first. At first, it was called Men on Strike. Then it went to Men going their own way, and of course, then it went to MGTOW. You know, it's just the abbreviation of it. So when I started really looking at it and seeing that, okay, I haven't been through this shit, you know, but I know a lot of guys who have. And since I'm already, you know, in that realm of things, you know, I wanted to sort of like prove some things and then disprove things. I didn't want to be the same type of dude, man, that followed protocol on giving out, hey, don't get married because of the stats of this. All bitches ain't shit. You know, this, and that, and a third, because I'm also a 5%er, you know, nation of gods and earths. So there's certain breakdown that I have also that the way I live life is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking questions to be a contrarian. I'm asking because I want to know. I'm not asking you a question because I don't think you know it or I don't think you got it. I want to see where your mind is right first so we can fucking build on this shit, right? I'm about building, man. I'm not about just having a stupid ass bitch ain't shit conversation. Stay away from bitch conversation. I don't even like that type of content, right? Because at the end of the day, you still gotta know who you are and then understand who you are. And once you understand who you are, nigga, that's how you become fucking God. You know what I'm saying? That's how you become the man that you are, you know, stout, you know, able to say no in a logical manner, not just off of fucking like some type of hatred, you know, becoming indifferent, becoming more pragmatic. And that's why I even started the channel. So a lot of guys, you know, when I used to come around, they didn't know, you know, I go to pro black channels, nigga, they don't even know that I'm MGTOW, or they don't even know that I have a channel like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they say, well, we don't hear you talk like them. I was like, because I made it a point not to. I made it a point to actually cam up and dispel, you know, a myth, at least for me, that, hey man, MGTOWs ain't hiding in the basement. They ain't all ugly. They not broke. They not, you know, they don't live with their moms and they just like some, you know, the fealties looking motherfucker. Humpback type nigga. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm not saying, you know, everybody came up to disprove that type of shit. But hey, man, look, here I am. There's guys that I've been on panels with that interviewed me about this and would say, hey, I'm jealous of you right now. Your camera's on, you're walking around the house. You just got, I'm like, I have nothing to hide. And that's the thing too. Like I show my face because I have nothing to hide. I'm on camera at work. I got little snippets of that type of shit. I've done lives from work and like help men. I'm all about helping men, man. Honestly, I don't care what color you are because I've been in situations like that where I had to not look at color.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. When it comes to, you know, men just getting on the internet and telling you you know, women are all bad, stay away from women, and having these type of incel rhetoric, now they try to bundle everybody up together. They think MGTOW is incel. They think red pills incel. They think everybody's incels. But like you said, man, this is a brotherhood over here, and we try to help men out, right, the best we can. And you just mentioned the 5%er. If you don't mind, can you give these brothers a brief basic of what a 5%er is, man?
5% is a teacher, man. By name, really. It's one of our duties. I'm not teaching nobody right now in that aspect, but actually, the titles of my lives, shit I talk about, it all goes into like supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet. Along with that comes with the lessons about social equality. Knowing who and what you are, taking information, man, and trying to cipher through that to make the truth come out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure some people have heard of it, or heard some rappers, like Wu-Tang and them. That's how a lot of people got started, off of it. After it was really introduced. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way of life. We call it Islam, I, self, Lord, and Master. And that means something when you break down, all the words in it. So, it's a different approach to a lot of things. Like, it's not a religion. It's not NOI. We're not Muslims. You know what I'm saying? We do follow dietary laws and shit like that, because food is part of the body. You know what I'm saying? And the body don't move without the mind. So my approach to this, the lifestyle that I'm living is I try to keep it right and exact. Sometimes you fall off, whatever, but that's your choice, due to whatever circumstances. And, all I can really do, man, is when I talk to people, I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to preach to you, so don't get that wrong. I'm really putting it out there, man. I'm very transparent about my life. But the 5%, is out of New York. It's out in Harlem. The school is, at least. There's channels that we go live on and shit. And we talk about the supreme mathematics and the lessons and how they correlate to, today's times. And that's pretty much what it's about. It's very interesting, man. And brothers have a lot of knowledge. Like, if you go look at these other cats when they speak, they just talk about what? Bible. Mm-hmm. They're in one space. You have to actually go outside and explore all the other angles. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, dope, man. Let's talk about. And by the way, you can go ahead and pin. You can, paste your channel in the comments, man. If anybody have any questions on anything he's talking about, man, this brother's dope. He does have a YouTube channel. Shaka, you can feel free to put your channel in there, man, so people can subscribe to you. And there's one video that I want to talk about on your channel, and it's called Smiles and Cries, man. I think that was very incredible. And I was like, wow, man, that's pretty deep, because I know men go through it every day. And they go through a lot of pain, they go through a lot of struggle, but they can't really reach out to, I won't say the right people, but they just can't really reach out to a ledge that somebody can help them. If you don't mind, can you explain the Smiles and Cries, man? I think that was dope, by the way.
Yeah. He's a prime example of what so-called, good guy goes through, right? On the extreme level. That was my boy Carlos Quezada. We're both union electricians. I took a call to do the solar gig, way out north in Vegas, and I met him, and he was my general foreman. But we grew closer together, and we became real cool, the 1.5 years that I was out there. He's a family man, got like 5 kids, but he was married for almost 20 years, I think almost 20. And I know he was going through shit. So, we always talked, You know what I'm saying? The crew, we would all go out together and we celebrated his birthday and everything. And then he was talking to me about, the stuff that he was going through. And I was telling him, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm the perfect guy. But then I thought about like, he's not like me. So I can't just, grab him by the mouth and start, spoon feeding him this shit. But on the proactive side, I was telling him, hey, dude, if she's talking about divorce, you need to go be the first one to do it. But so it's going to be like some fucked up shit, because what I want to say, I was trying to be a friend, but really what I was thinking was like, don't be a fucking bitch, right? Get all that fucking love shit out of your heart and start thinking with your head. Fight fire with fire. Be the first one to file for custody. She ain't got no money, nigga. You got the money. You know what I'm saying? But see, look, when most guys do that, like a few of my other friends that, I'm not trying to out them personally, but they know that I have a channel and they know that I talk about this shit. Right? So nigga, be proactive, number one. Don't give me that bullshit, man. I ain't got the money to go do it. I ain't got the money to go get a lawyer, because I guarantee you, you will. And if you don't, they're going to make you have it. Right? So he's going through all this shit over like a year. We travel together, we room together, be on the same crew, so you know who the dude is. But he was smiling on the outside. And anybody know that movie Training Day, that's kind of where I got it, because the movie, it was made to seem like it was bullshit, like he was just drunk and high. But if you really, really think about it, those masks, man, are very real, dog. Like the nice guy who just goes off after a long time and starts shooting people. Or now he's lashing out because he was a dude. You know what I'm saying? He was smaller on the outside, but on the inside, and he was crying. And I could tell because conversations got shorter. I started seeing him less. Text messages got shorter. And then, when I came back from Utah and I did my little hospital thing and I took this job of who I'm at, I got a phone call from my other homie, Carlos, saying that, at our union meeting tonight, they name off the death benefits, right? Because, out of our check, out of our dues, it comes with a death benefit. We try to help brothers and sisters who's passed away. And, within the last year, I had like 6, dog. It was very hard on me. You know what I'm saying? But when he read the one death benefit, and I said, well, who? He said, Carlos. I said, what? He said, yeah, man, Carlos took himself out. And, I started crying. But my foreman that he graduated the year before I did in the apprenticeship, right? So he would come pick me up and take me to work with him. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, man, you all right? What happened? I said, bro, I can't even do this and cry in front of you right now. But this is my dude, man. He's my boy. So he was like, hey, man, let that shit out, man. You got to go home? Like, I could just take you home. You ain't got to go to work. And then I came home. I mean, I didn't come home. I went to work. But then I got a call, at work, I'm wiring up some outlets and shit. I'm at this Target. Another dude called me and be like, yo, man, the homie Sylvester passed away. I said, dude, I got to go home. You know what I'm saying? So me thinking about Carlos and all the other dudes I've talked to who are married and kids and going through this, he's not the first person I ever tried to save. You know what I'm saying? He's not the first person. That's why it was, it was hard to take, knowing that I had just talked to him like 2 months prior to that. And then the next thing you know, he cut his life short. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, man.
Now, on the other side, I could never be that. I'm not going to even call him a bitch, but I could never be that. That's what keeps me grounded, right? Seeing this type of bullshit, I could never take myself out over some pussy. So me going from my friend, the nice guy, trying to get him through, I could never do that. I hope no man ever has to fucking do that, be that bad to take himself out. That's pretty damn bad. But when you are that type of guy who believes in that type of shit, and men won't leave. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight for their family, and to know that that was his breaking point. You're taking everything from this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, I want to say I get it, but I don't. But because I've been homeless before and shit gets taken away from you, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But in my head, I'm like, over pussy. That's what it broke down to me. In my head, over pussy.
Yeah. Damn, man, that's deep, man. Yeah, it's like Jadakiss. I always say, I'd rather die from a bullet than a nasty bitch. Real, man.
Yeah, hey man, it's not even like it's funny to a certain degree. That Schadenfreude kicks in, but it's not funny.
Yeah,
because I didn't know him before. 16 years prior. But anybody that I meet now, I'm gonna tell you, dog, you got to be an idiot to get married now. You got to be an idiot, man. I mean, if you could do it another way, no paperwork, none of that type of shit like that, then I'd say I would just say go for it, but just you still got to be careful because she can put you on papers. It's very easy. Once she has all your information. Birthday, social, okay. You sign your name on the birth certificate, okay. Did you read the back? Look, does anybody have kids in this motherfucker, right? If you have kids and you have your child's birth certificate, read the back of it and see what it says. That's all I'm gonna say.
They never read. Yeah, man. Speaking of kids, let's talk about these damn kids, man. All right, you 50 years old. You living free, you have no kids, you keep yourself grounded, and you value your life and your freedom. Basically, what is your outlook on men creating families or legacies or lineage when they have kids and it don't work out, or the kids don't even know who the father is? Or basically, a lot of bullshit happens between the lines. So, what is your stance on that, man? On like having kids?
I think the majority of men want to have kids, man, because they feel like they're leaving something behind on this earth. You know what I mean? And I mean, I get it. Like I said, man, I can understand a lot of things, dog. That don't mean I agree with them, right? I think that they set themselves up for bullshit, personally, because you asked for it, right? You thought she was cool, or whether you were just fucking. I don't believe in oops babies. I don't believe in accidents, because if you was fucking without a rubber, you asked for it, right? You live with her, you marry her, you ask for it all, the good and the bad. You know what I mean? So I think that when kids are fucking made and the child is with the girl don't want to see the dad. Now now the child don't know the father. The child hate the father. It's like a turnstile, of the same old shit, the same old bullshit, right? So it's kind of like, I would tell a dude not to have kids, to be honest, and people hate when I say that shit in other spaces, right? I'm like, man, don't even have kids, bro. And they're like, man, you can't tell dudes to do that. I said, well, hold on. But aren't you talking about the shit right now? No, we're talking about like how dads get fucked over. Exactly. So how do you cut out the bullshit? Right? How do you cut out the middleman? Right? You have a start and you have a middle and you have an end. Right? How do you cut out that middle part so that end won't come up? You just don't have kids. If the shit that I did in the Navy, and outside the Navy, if them chicks had kids, you know what I'm saying, then I probably wouldn't be here. I probably would have been on child support like everybody else. I probably would have found my space just now, maybe a couple of years ago. And then I would have been one of them niggas talking about, yeah, man, my bitch is dragging me through child support and all this bullshit, man. But that's how it goes, right? No, no, motherfucker, that ain't how it goes. It ain't supposed to go like that. You're not supposed to be used to fucking chicks keying your car, fucking up your windows, getting you in trouble at the job, and if you're in the military, calling your commander, getting you all hemmed up on a boat and all. You ain't supposed to. That's not life, nigga. No.
Mm-hmm.
Stay grounded.
Yeah, hey man, I agree, man. Men think that they need to go through that bullshit, and they think it's a part of life. It's really not. It's really not, man. And that's why I call this channel the prevention team. I don't know a lot about law. I don't know a lot about masculine frame or G checking the bitch. I just know about preventing all that. So that way you can live the quality of life that you want to live. And all of these panels that, sometimes I'll just listen in, and these dudes are complaining about the same issue that they caused. That's why I can never blame women. Women is women. But men think that women are different or special until they end up going on child support, end up being alienated. You try to get your kids for the weekend, the Amber Alert on your ass. But men cause their own suffering. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how all of this time men are still trying to figure out what woman to have kids with and get married, when in actuality, women are going to be your biggest downfall. Women will always be the yin and yang in your life, because it's not that you just, bend them over or whatnot, put hands on these. It's to the fact that you trust them so much that you become a part of her life, and vice versa. You give this woman kids, you get married to this woman, you get this woman freedom of your own sanity and security, and you get mad at her because everything backfired. And a lot of men are getting on panels talking about the type of women that they should, basically avoid. And it's just like men are trying their best to still get married, to still have kids, and to still maintain a freedom type of lifestyle or life choice, but they are slaves because you were free. And to be honest, man, I'm gonna say this real quick. You do not have to experience the same shit that somebody been through to not understand it. There's men that, just like Shaka, it's like you've never had no kids, no marriage, but I hear a lot of rhetoric where men say things like, well, you have to be in my shoes to understand. If you've never been through it, that's bullshit to me. That's bullshit. If I walk outside and somebody sniping everybody and I didn't get sniped, I don't want to experience that shit. I'm going my ass back in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to experience that. Do I gotta get shot in the head? Do I gotta get Charlie Kirk to experience that shit? No.
You actually don't have to touch the hot stove, dog. You don't.
Right.
I've done it before. It's like this. Look, you have people who, like, you have car owners, right? So you have car owners and you have car enthusiasts, right? What do you see a car enthusiast do? He maintains his own car, right? Preventative maintenance. Hey man, let me change my own oil. Let me do this. Let me do that. Fuck what, they put on my tag and all this type of shit like that, right? And, in the Navy, we went through a lot of preventative maintenance as our job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did, at least. We had a preventative maintenance schedule. That was our job as a machinist mate. So why wouldn't you do that with your life in general, right? Not just with chicks. Like I said, I know what we're talking about right now relegates more and more to females and everything, but I'm talking about life in general, right? So how many married dudes tell dudes, hey man, don't get married, dog. It ain't even worth it. Or you have a divorced guy, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I would never get married again. The experience is what I experienced. No matter what he says about it, but he's just telling you, hey man, I would never do it again, right? But dudes don't listen. They don't listen. They think that they're different in that aspect. And it's like, yeah, you can be different for a minute, you know what I'm saying, for however long that takes until she says you're not. And guys don't really see it like that. Because if you figured that she wasn't worth it after a while, how many of you are actually going to go to the get that paperwork that says, you know what, I'm cool on you right now? Because she'll do it in a minute and then make up some bum ass excuse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all bum ass excuses. Like if the nigga ain't cheating, you know, hey, look man, if the nigga ain't cheating or hitting, it's a bum ass excuse. To be honest with you. So
yeah,
you know, my thing is why not just prevent any of that from happening? But like I told you before on your panel when I started coming around, there's like 3 or 4 reasons why dudes get married. I mean, you can have a whole lot more reasons, but if you really look into it, they're all going to go back to the you know, at least the 3 reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's dude, like I'm not saying that, you know, there's fear mongering going on or whatever, but you know, you have a lot of guys who listen to this type of content and be like, see, these guys are just scared to get married. But you're broke anyway, so she ain't gonna take nothing from you. She ain't gonna do this and do that. It's like, okay. So when you go back to naming experiences, hey man, so what happened with you and this and that? You know, little experiences, and then you hear them, and it's like, okay, but you still tell a guy to get married or have a girlfriend or do this and do that, and it's not worth it. So your logic is already fucked. I don't even want to hear from you because I took you down the path and you proved the point. You proved it that you're dumb and you're trying to act like you're the man in front of an audience or to yourself and just say, yo, man, my bitch would never do that and I ain't like that. But you've been with 20 chicks, right, who said that, you know, you could have married him if you wanted to. And this is, well, why didn't you? Why not?
Man, I hate that shit when niggas say things like that. You ain't got enough money anyway. Why y'all scared to get married? It's men saying this shit. I don't listen to, by the way, I don't listen to what women say. I don't give a fuck. If she not on her knees and she ain't been over, what she can tell me? But it's men online telling other men, oh, y'all, why y'all scared? Y'all ain't got nothing to lose anyway. Y'all acting like y'all millionaires. You have a lot to lose. See, when men say you don't have a lot of money to lose, mentally, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of currency. Time is a whole lot of currency. Everybody keeps stemming from the fact that it's one dynamic of marriage that's losing money. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. You men are taking themselves out, and these guys have all the money in the world, right? But mentally, it's stressful. It's depressing, right? And there's no married man on a planet would tell you don't do this shit. Never. He like, don't do this shit. He like, man, do you see how miserable I am? Bro, I'm tired of this same piece of pussy every day. You out here, you having fun. You got all these women. You can say no, you can say yes. Me, I can't because I'm stuck with this bitch. I'm stuck. That's what marriage is. Marriage is you being stuck. All right. Now, let's get to the military, man. Hey, let's get to the military.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, man, listen, bro. And this, okay, so I'm gonna keep telling this story. I'm gonna tell it right now. I remember when I first got on the John C. Stennis, which is an aircraft carrier, and it was located in Bremerton, Washington, back in 2007, 2008. I remember this shit. I had my big ass sea bag. I was excited.
Wait, what's it called?
John C. Stennis. This was
I wasn't there when I was there.
Yeah, CVN 74. I remember this
Ooh.
shit.
Wait, hold on. Was the Lincoln and the Nimitz still there?
No, but
it was
after it was like 08, 09, I think, when the Nimitz was and then because it was something about, I think the Nimitz was in San Diego at one point, but then it came over to Birmingham, something like
Yeah,
that, and then the Lincoln
yeah.
was yeah. But you're
That's
right
when I
though.
was there.
The Lincoln was there though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Lincoln and the Nimitz, and we was like, oh man, it's gonna be a Bloods and Crips battle on the base.
Nigga, you wasn't lying. um, so I'm checking in, and I remember I was an E3 at that time, and my he was an E6, right? One of my I won't call them bosses. I don't call niggas bosses, but I'll call him like a supply leader, right? He was E6, and he just got transferred somewhere else. This guy was hardworking. He was actually cool. He's a white dude, right? He had a deep ass voice. This dude sounded like Batman, the real Batman. He was like, hey, I need y'all to go over there. I need y'all to put this pause over here, right? He had a deep ass voice. Cool white boy. So when we in 09, when we finally did our deployment, man, life changed. Life had a very drastic shift. I seen the same guy that was hardworking. He was ready to go on deployment. I noticed something. When I went back into the office, right, log in to Outlook, right, logging in the emails, he was still there. I was like, man, like, you've been up all day. How come you ain't sleep yet? Now, mind you, before I get to the story, this white man, I ain't gonna say no names, but he's a white guy. He was about 36 or 37, and I was like in my early 20s. This dude married a 18-year-old woman. So he got married, and as soon as the boat, when it undocked, right? All right, we at sea. He gets a long ass email, and we used to call them John Deere emails, right? John Deere letters or whatnot. And I say, I was like, oh shit. So I'm reading it with him because he was just in tears. He was just, right. He had his hand on the mouse, and he was like a statue. I was like, bro, you good? He's like, nah, man. Read this. I'm reading this shit. And this woman was going crazy. Like, she was saying things like, I'm keeping your house. I'm divorcing you soon as you get done for these 9 months. I'm gonna move somebody else in. And when you get off of your 9-month deployment, you figure this shit out. And mind you, he just left. So we got we got 6 months. My bad. We got 6 months. We got 6 months to focus on the ship's readiness. And we going to all of these countries. We going to Thailand. We hit China, Japan. We went to Hawaii, Singapore. It was incredible, man. And this dude, I remember, like, this dude was losing weight every single day. And his nose was like kind of long, right? So, but you wouldn't notice because he had a lot of weight on him. Every day, this nigga got skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. At this point, I was like, man, you need to go back home, man, because you don't look too good, bro. He was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get my shotgun. And I'm gonna tell that bitch right? So he was talking this shit. So we finally get off of deployment. Everybody waiting to, for the ride to get back to the dock or whatnot. Man, this dude ran out of the ship. He zoomed off. Like when you got to salute, all this good stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta
Permission to go ashore. Real quick.
Yeah. Permission to go offshore and all this shit. Nigga ran down the dock. And he went home. I don't know what happened to him because that's the last time I heard from him. But people was telling me, he was like, yeah, he had a shotgun. And he basically kicked her out. I don't know what he did to the other guy, but bruh, 6 months of miserable pain, of something that you can't do anything about because you have to do a job. And that just one, man, but damn, bruh. Whew.
Hey dog, look. So when we go out, right, on our Westpacks and shit,
Yeah.
the wives that are left back, we call them Westpac widows, right? So just for you guys' information, if you already don't know, me and BMP, we've both been in the same duty stations. Out in Bremerton, it's called Puget Sound. Man, if we would have met back then, boy, we would have been wilded out.
Man, listen, bro.
So I first got there, right? And I was banging this white chick. She was tall, skinny, you know. She's like, well, my husband's gone. I didn't know what that meant. She was like, yeah, he's gone for like 6 months. You know, he's out on the Westpac. I'm fresh, nigga. I'm fresh fish type shit, you know, around Bremerton area. But nigga, I'm fucking this chick, nigga. Hey, this bitch was like 6 months pregnant. You couldn't even tell. You couldn't tell. And I'm fucking her, and I bill her at where she stay at, you know, because she was always at this friend's house. So I'm over there, you know, and it's been a while. And this dude comes home. He knows that we've been fucking around. He knows where I was at the time. And he comes over to the house with like 4 of his buddies, man. And it's a black dude, right? So he's like, yo, man, that's my wife. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know who the fuck he was. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But like, I wasn't on her right then and there. Like, I was on the couch and she was in the kitchen. So the dude, so when he come in, you know, I'm slouching on the couch. I'm drinking my fucking Seagram's, dog. Seagram's gin. You know what I'm saying? And that night I was on one. So he was like a little short ass dude, like 5'4". And he comes in, he's leaning on me. I'm like, yo, man, just get out of my face, but I'm fucked up. So when I stood up, you know, I'm 5'8". When I stood up, I said, hey, man, don't talk to me. Talk to your wife. I said, I didn't know she was married. She never wore a ring. I just knew she was pregnant. So he's like, you fucking a pregnant chick? I'm like, yeah, I was fucking a pregnant chick. So he was like, nigga, he looked like he wanted to look at his boys and cock back and swing on me. But by that time, he had like one of them champion sweatshirts on. I grabbed him by the fucking champion sweatshirt and I drug him out to this, you know, some houses out there had those bay windows, you know, they single pane. I threw him through the glass. And his boys was like, yo, we're not jumping in. I gotta go. Hey, I ran back to the boat that night. That's one. I got a shit ton more, but we'll be here all day. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, you see shit like that though, dog. You know? Yep. Like, look, when we were saying, hey, if you got a girl or a wife, you break up with her before you go. And when I got in, right, I didn't realize that I did that, right? When we were saying that shit, even though I agree with it. But so when I got out of boot camp, then I went to A school, and then I didn't take the vacation. I went straight to the boat, right? So I was gone for a minute, but I had a girl, you know, out here already. I called her and I told her, I said, hey, man, you know, this ain't gonna work out. And she was like, why? I said, because look, I ain't gonna even be home for a minute. We about to go out on the Westpac and do 6 months. I don't know nobody out here. I live on the boat and you can't move out here. So I said, just go find somebody that you can fuck with that's gonna be there for you. And I didn't even realize, nigga, I literally did that shit. But I'm glad I did. Because nigga, all that freedom, and my boat had chicks on it at the time where I don't think a lot of boats, besides maybe subtenders, you know, had females on the boat. You know what I'm saying? So nigga, we was running around. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking bitches on the steam stacks, in they racks, on the forecastle at night, on a fantail.
Nigga, them racks little as hell.
Hey dog, if anybody's been in the Navy, man, and they know what the racks are in the bourbon area, you know, you'll know it's hard. Boy, 2 people. You know what I'm saying?
Top rack too, boy.
Yeah.
Niggas fall them rats and they sleep and shit, man. So little, I'll be sleep at one, dude. Like, nigga, what the fuck? I see a nigga head split. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's a good 6 feet off the ground.
That's a fall. Yeah, man. That's crazy. Hey, I said the same shit. I was telling people. If you got a woman, I don't care if you married, man. Hey, tell her she can do her own thing. You do yours. But if you get, fuck with a little bitch, you be like, hey, you can do what you want because I'm gonna do what I want. Goddamn, I'm going to Singapore. I'm going to Hawaii. Like I'm going to all of these countries in Hawaii the state, and I'm like, I'm not being loyal, man. Everybody that was married on that ship took that goddamn ring. Some kept their ring on.
Kept it on.
They were like, oh man, we having fun out here. People like, yo, I never been out here. And I remember like the funniest shit. It was this little Hawaiian chick. She's like an E5. She was like half black Hawaiian. She was real cute, but her body was built like, I don't know. She had like she had one of those box juice bodies. It was just blocked. I don't know why, but she was cute. And you know what I'm saying? So she was married. Yeah. So it's like she was married and shit.
Them disease are all fucked up, probably.
Yeah, right.
And so worse.
This bro, I don't know what gump she had, but she was always brag about her marriage. She used to always brag about how loyal she are, right? She had pictures all over all over her office and whatnot. We used to fuck with her, whatnot. We used to throw pencils at her, fuck with her, whatnot. She was cool people. But I remember one gloomy night we went to San Diego. And we was there for maybe 4 or 5 days. And soon we pulled up, it was Liberty, it was the night. Nigga, San Diego was lit. It was lit, bro. Back to 2007, 2008, 2009.
Street.
Bruh, that shit was so fun. So I remember me and my homies, man, we had went to a club. I forgot the name of the club. What, Decos or something like that? It was something like that. That club was so fucking fun. Back in the day when clubs were actually fun.
Right.
But the woman that I'm talking about, that bitch went, she went to Applebee's. No, it was TGI Fridays. She went to TGI Fridays she had 2 or 3 white men, like white boys and 1 black dude. 4 dudes, right? So she in there. We had went to TGI Friday. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, hey, what's up? And I see her, right? So I'm like, uh-oh, she's sipping on that Long Island, right? So I'm like this the whole time, like this with it. You know what I'm saying? So I had this look. I'm like, uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, so, Long Island, boy. So yeah, about 1 or 2 of them. I'm like, all right, cool, man. So I see them, that whole group left. So they went somewhere. Apparently the next morning, I see a whole, we did, what you call that shit? Quarters. I think it's called quarters. When you line up in the morning.
Oh, general quarters.
Yeah, there you go. General quarters. She was missing. She was missing with the people she was with. So apparently they got drunk as hell and they ran a whole train on that though, bro. They ran a train on her. So they had to call the hotel. She overslept. They overslept. They had a fun night. I'm saying, right. So, you know what I'm saying? So we had to, wait until they got back. She finally get back, her hair all messed up. Her hair everywhere, makeup smeared. I was like, God damn. How can you explain this, right? So now the most loyal woman that everybody was talking about, bigging up this bitch, she had a whole train. And by the way, the most loyal women, they love to have fun because they can't. They all shackled up with this one guy, and she finally took that opportunity, and she got trained by 5 ninjas, man. 5 ninjas. Maybe 4. I don't know. I ain't counting, but she had a blast. I said, yep, there you go.
Blasting
white right there. All right.
Dog. Hey man, look. Hey nigga. I got a lot of stories, man, but really, when we really look at it, especially when you look at the dudes who, did y'all go to Philippines and Thailand, or did they stop that?
I wish. Oh, y'all lucky. Nah, we didn't go.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. We went to Pattaya Beach, but me and my homie, we took like a leave to go to Bangkok. That shit was dope.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
know at a certain point, I think they stopped us from going to Thailand and the Philippines because motherfuckers was getting syphilis and shit.
Nigga, Tuskegee Airmen and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's on your hands, man? Oh, nothing. But
nigga test
hey,
subject, nigga.
that ain't nothing but some bumps. But 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 dog, you know was really sad was when, just like you said, like the niggas on Westpac, man, and you know you get that letter, right? But what's really sad was when you see these dudes go AWOL or AWOL over some hoes in a foreign land, and then they come back. You know they're not in too deep of a trouble. You know what I'm saying? But they're in trouble because when that bitch got here, nigga, it was like, you know, where am I staying? Some of them had kids. Next thing you know, nigga, a couple years later, nigga, hey, I got you. We want a divorce. Now they're home free. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like a chief. Hey, I mean,
man, boy, the chief,
hey,
man.
When I see the chief, I see the chief and the senior chief. You know, and at that time, man, you know, they making good money. I think it was good. Well, you know, it's shitty money, but you could live and you could live well, you know, and to see them go through a divorce and see them, you know, get taken, they get for everything.
Man, but chiefs make a lot of money when they go overseas because they get the extra pay. They get like the overseas pay, the hazards pay.
Yeah,
bro.
I got hazardous pay when I was in Bahrain for those 3 months.
Oh, yeah, bro.
You get that extra fucking lovely. $350, no, $650 a month. That was great. I think it was like $650.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I know it was like 3 something. I know that for shit sure. But look, even right now, dog, in the union, you know, electricians union or whatever. So in our union, we can retire at 55, right? Mm-hmm. Now you'll take a hit, you know, if you dive into your pension and all that type of shit, you know, what we call Plan B money. It's plan. No, we don't. Not Plan B for the thing. It's Plan B because we have a Plan A.
Yeah, right? No, that sounds crazy. Yeah,
it does. Right. Your Plan A is how long you've been in. You know what I'm saying? So you get a certain amount of credits per working hours. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you can have like, I know dudes who've been in, man, when the work was really good, especially way back in like, say like the early 80s, 90s, where, you know, when the strip was becoming the strip. You know what I'm saying? Like these cats had thousands in the bank, dog. Thousands, right? Now, you know, I'm a journeyman and they want to retire, nigga. They're like 56. They're like, I can't even retire. And it's like, well, why not? I gotta work for like another 2 or 3 years. I said, well, why? He goes, well, I had a divorce. I said, nigga, you gotta be shitting me. But, hey, that's only one divorce. I know cats that have had 2 or 3 divorces while they've been in.
Tell me about it, bro.
She could not take anything. She could be like, I don't want shit, but I want this nigga's pension. They're gonna get half, right? Now, the other shit about the houses and all that shit, you don't actually lose the house to her like that. That's a misconception about her taking the house, because if both of y'all own it, right? I know the majority of motherfuckers put their bitch on a house. So she actually has to pay you out the equity, you know, so like you're half of that house. And if she can't, and then you can, and you pay her out, and then she's out and you keep the house. Yep. Right? But if she can't do it, then nobody gets it, and somebody's got to buy the house. It's going to go back to the bank. Mm-hmm. That's how that type of shit works. Yeah. But the pension, in certain things, maybe like cars, if you had business together, then yeah, she gonna get it. Make no mistake, she gonna get it.
Damn, man.
Tell these motherfuckers, man. Hey,
that's why you MGTOW, fellas. That's why we MGTOW.
You in the fucking military, dog. And I'm going to say, especially as a military man, because trust me, dog, they got your file right there. What do they have to look for? Oh, we don't know where he work at. He ain't work here in 3 months. Nigga, he's down in the pits.
That child support gonna hit the next day too.
Nigga, it's coming out. Yo, he in the engine room right now. What are you talking about?
Well, you gonna wake up, half your shit gone. You be like, damn.
Nigga, how my check go from 1,800 every 2 weeks to 550?
How you homeless?
Hey, moving back to the boat. I didn't see dudes move back to the boat.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yep. Niggas became homeless. Yeah, I'm like, how you homeless and you serve the military? Man, she took everything, man. I don't know what to do, man. You know, like, man,
hey, dog.
I want to laugh, but it's like, man, that shit hilarious.
No, look, I got a dude right now. Look, I got a homie right now, right? That I hadn't seen in a while, right? I hadn't seen him because when I was a third-year apprentice, you know, we do all the shows out here, the car shows, consumer electronics, NAB shows. We do all that shit. So I go, you know, and do those setups, right? So I'm working with my foreman. He mad cool. He's like, "No, you want to stay? Well, overtime." I'm like, "Bro, it's been 16 hours already." You know? He's like, "Hey man, get the money. When we used to say that when you go on these shows, right? And these are 2-week calls. You only got 2 weeks. Man, you can make $4,000 or $5,000. Yep. And some of these vendors will give you some shit. Like a motherfucker gave me $500 one time for doing, you know, his jewelry booth or whatever. And I'm like, cool, whatever, right? So now I'm a journeyman and I see this motherfucker. He's like, "No, what's up? Where you been?" I said, "Dude, I've been traveling. I've been here." He's like, "All right, well, we're doing this. I'm gonna keep you with me, right?" So I'm like, "All right, cool." And we're on a power crew. Power crew makes money. You put all the power down, all those big time lights you see. If you look up, if you ever been out here and been to one of them shows, you know, or any exhibition show you go wherever you're from, right? Nigga, power is a lot, right? So he's telling me, I'm like, "Dude, you still with your wife and shit?" He's like, "Man, I got divorced." You know, then he was telling me, you know, about all the shit. He goes, "Man, you know, I got 2 houses taken." I'm like, "What you do? You got married twice?" He's like, "Nah, she took both of them."
Damn.
Hey, look, I wonder, but you know, he's a cool dude, right? So he was kind of laughing with it. So I laughed with him. I didn't want to laugh harder than him though, right? But nigga, he had his 2 houses taken, he had his boat taken, and a car.
Damn.
Right now, he's like living in a trailer, dog. And he has a nice ass truck. So he probably won't be able to retire. You know, I forgot how old he is. He's not that much older than me, if at all older than me. But he's probably gonna have to retire 10 years after I retire.
Damn. I think gonna be a skeleton.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
He already skinny.
Hey, that's it. Look,
Hey,
and then that's why they see you. They like, "Are you 50? No kids, no." And then they try to be like, "Why not?" That's why, nigga. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my own money, man.
Hey, check it out though. If I never said I didn't want to be married, that Hebrew Israelite that asked me to marry her, I probably would have married her. Mm-hmm. She was nigga. She's a wife. She's the type of chick that scares dudes who talk about what they want out of that. That nigga, she's scary. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look, like I said, I'm not just MGTOW because of this shit. My whole life is around it in so many ways. It ain't just about chicks, but because life ain't nothing but bitches and money, this is where we are. Right? And if you can tell me that life ain't nothing but bitches, or that what I just said isn't true, prove me wrong. Go ahead, prove me wrong. But in the instance of, and this was probably back in 2017 when she asked me, and she said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna say. Just listen to the language. She was a good one. She was a good girl, nigga. She was a chef. DIY skills was cool as fuck. She was British and Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Jamaican. Mm-hmm. She spoke with an English accent. When she got mad, she'd speak patois. She's teaching her girls how to be a wife. Like, yo, men get served first. It's this and that. You know what I'm saying? She liked looking at me like I fixed her sink for her one day. I took my Allen wrench and just cranked over it. You know when the garbage disposal ain't working?
Yeah.
Cranked that fucking that screw down. So I went to the car and got my Allen wrench, nigga, and went and did that shit. And she looking at me with like deer stuck in the headlight eyes, like, I love that. When men can fix shit. You know, hey man, hey, she was cute. I think I showed you a picture of her. Right?
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
very logical chick. You can talk to her, right? But then I have to reel her in sometimes. I say, hey, you doing it again. And she's like, what? I said, you doing that thing. She's like, oh, that female thing. Like she knew what I was talking about. But because I didn't want to get married, nigga, I was like, nah, I said no. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part. You know, like I know dudes want to cut out bitches or the rest of their life. Hey man, look, I like chicks. You know what I'm saying? I like chicks. I'm not gonna cut them out. I'm gonna, you know, that's not what MGTOW is about either. But I understand if you can if you take it somewhere and you just like fuck them all. Hey man, I get it too. I would never tell a dude that because I think that mentally it would start fucking with your sexuality in a certain way. You know, AI shit, dolls. I'm not with that. I'm still a man,
bro.
So what I'm saying is, it's easy to claim MGTOW, but it's hard to be one.
Yep.
You know,
man. Yeah, definitely, man. Man. So okay. So what we're gonna do is, if anybody want to hit the panel, ask his brother some questions or anything pertaining to the topic, man, y'all can go ahead and do it. But the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're gonna do closing thoughts, man, and get up out of here, man. It's a dope discussion, and man, definitely good conversation, man. Definitely.
Hold on. There's a video that I re-uploaded. I like going back to the archives. It's by an old MGTOW named Barbarossa. I think everybody thinks he's white, but he's actually like from Dominican. He was Dominican, like from New York. And him and his dad was also IBW electricians. That's funny, right?
That's crazy.
He has a video. Actually, 2 things. He has a video titled "Do Men Justify Their Exploitations?" Now, if you listen to that video, you'll see how old school MGTOW used to talk. Right? If you go through his catalog, you can see how old school MGTOW used to talk. It wasn't all the stats and, you know, these bitches this, these bitches that. Yo, man, they had conversations on transhumanism. And this is back in like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know
I put a link in the chat too.
Okay.
I put a link in there. Yeah. So brother,
okay.
Check that out.
Okay.
Definitely, man.
And then he has he did an interview with this other black dude named Straight Shooter. And I did a panel on that before. It's a black dude. I know he was in the army. He was getting out the army. And his wife said, I will leave you if you got the army, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I added him in the title. He actually came up on my panel. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking to Barbarossa. You know, it was like back then we would call it married and waking up. Nigga, that is a dream for your ass. To be married and waking up.
Damn.
And we had a good discussion on my panel too, you know. But you could tell he kind of like changed his mind on certain things, nigga. I was just like, huh? I wanted to kick him off the panel, but
yeah, man. Shit, but like I know you laced me with a lot of YouTube links, man. Hey, before we get up out of here, man. Cause I know, you know, when you started doing YouTube, can you name maybe like 3 to 5 people that inspire you to do YouTube, as far as this type of content, or like people that probably existed or still do, like 3 to 5 people that you inspire you to, yeah.
That's a good question. You know what? I would say nobody, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that inspired me to do it was because I was a 5%, and we do a thing called, you know, you write your book of life, right? So I didn't really have no technology back then. I had a recorder and a fucking piece of shit Motorola Droid X at the time. So what I would do is I would just be rambling about shit. But remember, I said to be a 5%, you gotta be a teacher. So for the fact that I wasn't teaching nobody this, because out in Vegas, there you don't really see them. You know what I'm saying? Those 5%ers out here this way. You see NOI, but writing my book of life, I said, well, I'm not gonna write anything. Well, I'll just put it out, put my voice out there. So on my first channel, that's what I was doing. And my channel name was AIK. I was a tagger too. So AIK was All I Kings. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me writing my book of life, I was just vlogging my book of life, right? Or blog, so I'd have to go to my uncle, give him the fucking recordings, and then have him upload the shit to my channel. But I wasn't PC. You know what I'm saying? But what kept me around, coming back, I didn't have a channel or an account. I would just search. So if you look at my channel, it actually says 2012, but really I go back to about 08, 09.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make it an account until 2012. And then I didn't actually make it a channel until 2016. But the inspiration now, I would say, is that people will call me and say, hey, man, when you going live again? Like, people want to hear from you. Or when I get on panels, some people will say, yo, man, you should start doing more lives. And really, I have all this equipment here. I don't want it to go to waste, but I'm a working man.
Mm-hmm.
And remember what I told you, when you did your lives with like no video to go over, it was hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have all your sound checks and boards and your clips. You can do all that shit, but it's harder to do, right?
Well, videos it's not easy because when you're doing videos, you have to explain them and at the same time maintain the chat. But just doing audio is extremely hard, man.
Audio is harder. That's where I'm getting to.
Definitely.
Just to go live and talk about some shit. Like if you looked at the majority of my titles, most of them come from the mathematics of today, right? Or the day's date. And then I would look through some lessons and then how did I correlate that today? How did I correlate that through life? Being a journeyman electrician and little shit like that. So that's mostly where my titles would come from. But the inspiration that people, like I don't put my channel out there all the time. I don't have a whole lot of lives. I don't go reaction videos. That's harder to do. It takes a little more energy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I'll be around other people's shit. And it's like, I think it screws me up too, because I'm around a lot more other people's shit than mine. And it's like, I can't do the video stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can have a panel, which is no problem. I could talk for a minute if I really want to, but that's when I gotta like cam down. So I'm not looking at a camera like people are behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or people in front of me. But I could talk for a minute. Like my very first live that I did, either that one or whatever, it was like an hour and something of me just talking, rambling. I'm pretty sure somebody will find some jewels out of that shit. And I appreciate the people that actually come, to my lives and stick around. Like when you came, nigga, I was going to end the live and you was like, man, we listen to the music. That shit went like another, what, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was dope, man. That was dope, man. But let's go ahead and do closing thoughts, man. Anything that you want to, because I know, man, like I usually don't go live this early, but people are going to review the replay. Anything that you want to tell these brothers that's watching now, as a 50-year-old man, got your freedom, no kids, you're living your life. And if there's any other information, because I know like you have like a phone number on your channel, right? To get brothers in the union.
Put it out there.
That's dope, man. But any closing thoughts, man? Go ahead, brother. You got the floor, man.
Hey man, look, it's all on you. It always has been. As an adult male, you have choices, and whatever you make sure you use your hindsight but also off the hindsight, you got to start using your foresight. You know what I'm saying? So just whatever choice you make, man, just stick to it and get through it. And I'm talking about good or bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, whether you're claiming MGTOW or not. It's just not easy to go through life. You know what I'm saying? So at a certain point, you're just gonna have to, be on your own square. You know what I'm saying? Do shit for you and stop doing everything that society tells you to do. I know we can only get away from that so much, but there's a lot of stuff, man, that you don't have to do, for the good of society because it helps them out and doesn't help you out.
Appreciate that, man. Salute, man. Salute to SHAKA-NEU-LU. And by the way, man, I'm gonna remove you, but stay in the stage. All right, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm doing my close off, man. But salute to him, man. Salute to Shaka, bro. Salute to him. I think a lot of people can learn a lot, if not from me, from this brother. And by the way, I will be back live streaming next week. I want to focus more on Patreon, and most importantly, I want to do more collaborations because I think that a lot of my moderators in here have backstories. All right, so if you are interested on doing a collaboration, hit up my email or even Discord if you're still in there. That's free. But more importantly, man, there are some people that I want to interview next. One of them is Black Pill Daniels. If he's still here, I know that brother got a storyline, and I'm gonna bring more people to interview as well. Shout out to Batman Beyond. I tried to ask him to do the interviews, but he said no, you do it. So I'm gonna have to interview that brother. No news. Good to see you, brother. Just in time. Let me know if you are interested in a collaboration or interview, man, because I know you have a interesting backstory, man. So BPD, no news. Who else, man? I know Guns and Butter was in the military. So any of you brothers are interested on, doing a live stream, getting interviewed, have a dope topic, a dope discussion, let me know. And we're going to go from there, man. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'll catch y'all next week. We're going to turn up as usual. It's going to be less live streams. It's going to be a little bit, more Patreon, a little bit more videos on YouTube. But I need, hit me up, all right? I need y'all brothers to hit me up because I think y'all got some dope backstories that some brothers can, learn from, just like my brother SHAKA-NEU-LU. But other than that, man, hit the like button on your way out. I will see y'all next week. And you already know. With that being said, this is the Beta Male Police. I appreciate y'all for reaching out, but it ain't shit else we gotta speak about. Y'all take care, man. We out of here, man. Peace.
When you're down, understand. You got to reach out.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, now let me get a word in sometime. Don't talk so damn.